What's up, everybody? How we feeling tonight? I said, how we feeling tonight? Raise your hands if you are ready for some cocktails. Me too. Raise your hand if you're ready for some bites. Raise your hand if we also drink water. Okay, cool. This is my type of crowd. It's balance. It is so nice to meet you. My name is Taylor Crenshaw, and hey, girl. We know each other. Look, we got friends in the building. I want to be all your friends. My name is Taylor, and I'm a live events producer here at KQED. And if you didn't know, KQED is Northern California's PBS NPR member station. How many of us knew that already? Oh, we're really friends. We're really friends. Our KQED Live Events program aims to bring our amazing journalism to the stage, and you can see our full lineup of food events, performances, tastings, trivia nights, experiences, and more over at KQED Live. But you already knew that because you're here, right? Yeah. Okay, period. Any members in the house? Raise your hand if you're a member. Family. Now we went from cousins to siblings at this point. We're in each other's estate. If you are not a KQED member, there is still time and opportunity for you to be a part of this wonderful family. And being a KQED member comes with a bunch of sweet benefits. These are like just a bit, and my favorite is discounts on events that are just like this one. So keep your eye out, think about it. We have some really incredible events happening this summer. Stay in touch with us. Can I get a hell yeah? Yeah. Can I get a hell yeah? All right. And so now we're gonna thank the people who keep the lights on, our sponsors. It's 2026. Okay, so when someone makes a pledge and invests money to have programming like this, is a big deal. So I want to thank the San Francisco Symphony, Xfinity, Genentech, Webster House, a Front Porch Community, and the San Francisco Foundation, along with Star One Credit Union. Give it up for people who are putting their money where their mouth is. That's right. And speaking of sponsor love, there is a special audience in this crowd that is going home with a prize. Do we like prizes? Do we like prizes as much as we like cocktails? Whoa, okay, this is a big deal. Okay, cool. Another Planet Entertainment has donated a pair of tickets to one randomly, I didn't even, look, Alex, I didn't even get it out. To one randomly selected member in the audience to attend a concert of their choice in their July lineup at the Greek Theater in Berkeley. Wow. I'll tell you some of the lineups that use. One second. Okay. So there's people like The Fray, there's Rainbow Kittens, it's a bunch of things. So the winner of this raffle ticket, can I get a drum roll, please? Is Brandon Stork. Brandon Stork, where you at, Brandon? Brandon, we're gonna come to you, but you can go ahead and give the audience a wave behind you. Brandon is the winner tonight. He's starting his summer off right. Brandon, at the end of this event, go ahead and find me. I'll be in the reception area.
Awesome. Thank you, Taylor.
You're welcome, Brandon. Okay, so are we ready to get into the show? Okay, so give it up for our incredible hosts walking us through the night. Cecilia. Give it up for Cecilia Phillips, y'all.
How are y'all doing tonight? Thank you, Taylor, for that amazing introduction. How many of you are actually coming to your first KQED live event that I've ever, okay, great. First KQED live event, okay, great. First KQED live event that I've ever hosted. Like, how many people have seen me before? Ah, Yay, thank you for coming back. I'm glad I didn't scare you away. It's gonna be an amazing evening tonight, but I did want to share with you, I actually work on a little television show here called Check Please Bay Area. Have you heard of it? Awesome. Thank you all so much for watching. I thought that this would be kind of a great time to go ahead and share the announcement, because it just happened a couple weeks ago, that our Special Warriors episode that recently came out on television was nominated for an Emmy. Awesome, cool, glad you like that. I'll go ahead and share this with you, and I hope that this doesn't come off as boasting, but there's a segment within Check Please Bay Area called Cecilia Tries It that you may have seen before. Okay, a couple of you, all right. Need to work on the marketing. I get a chance to go out and highlight food trucks, amazing vendors in the community, farmers markets within Check Please now. They gave me my own segment called Cecilia Tries It, and I went ahead and just gave my chance at putting my hosting skills to the test in the Emmys, and I was also nominated for an Emmy. Thank you, thank you. It's a huge honor. I've been working at KQED for almost 7 years now, so I'm very proud of the work that we do. But tonight, I will be your host for this fantastic event, featuring an amazing panel of guests to talk through some history of cocktail culture, and especially the Caribbean, the South Pacific, Polynesia, and its influence in how we experience cocktail culture and drinks today. So we're gonna have a lively discussion with the panel. There will be some demos that we are going to take a look at, and then a few surprises along the way. And at the end, there will be a reception where you all can mix, mingle, talk to the panel, and also enjoy some tasty bites. I believe that you all got some drinks when you walked in as well. Cool. All right, so what you're enjoying is from one of the panelists, so we'll learn more about that in a moment. But we may as well just go ahead and welcome them to the stage, so please give a huge round of applause for our esteemed panel tonight. And our panel's coming out right now. Great. Thank you. Okay. Thought you guys left me hanging. What's so worried. I'm glad you're still here. Okay. So I did want to kind of go ahead and open up and say why this event is so important to me for many different reasons. I feel like a broken record sometimes when I say this, but before I started working at KQED, and actually partially during the time that I did work at KQED, while I was getting my degree and trying to do what I'm doing now, I actually worked in restaurants for 15 years. And a big portion of those years, I was a bartender. So I am especially excited because during that time of my bartending stint, on our panel, who I'm going to introduce in a moment, I met Chef Nelson, Herman, pardon. Chef Nelson, we met during my time working at a restaurant in Oakland called Nido, and I was your bartender when you used to come to drink, so I'm really excited.
He's an amazing bartender, y'all.
Thank you, thank you. I hope that my hosting is just as good. All right, here we go. So Chef Nelson, of course, you have accomplished so much in the time that I've known you. When I first met you, were the owner, and still are the owner of Alomar in Oakland. You then went on to open Sobremesa as well in Oakland. And I had the pleasure of interviewing you for Check Please Bay Area with that restaurant. And then recently you became the executive chef and partner at Mesky, along with warrior Draymond Green.
Draymond Green, baby.
You're also a James Beard recognized chef and a Top Chef Season 18 contestant. So we welcome you in. And sitting next to you is the co-author of your book and part of the reason why we're here today, which is Caribbean Cocktail, your book that you both co-authored together, Andrea Lawson Gray. You made the book together, and you are a chef, writer, a James Beard Award-winning cookbook author, and I'm very excited to learn more about how the two of you came together to make this book happen. So thank you for being here as well. And then the drinks that you enjoyed were from a bar that you may recognize and know very well, Trader Vic's. So with us today is Eve Bergeron. You are a restaurateur, marketing manager, historian, bartender, but last but not least, the granddaughter of the founder of Trader Vic's. Thank you for being here. And alongside you is Carlos Valdez. We have basically the bar manager and mixologist for the Trader Vic's in Emeryville, but you also are the one who is an innovator for new cocktails for Trader Vic's globally. Is that correct? Cool. Yes. And you're wearing your Trader Vic's shirt to prove your chops. Thank you for being here. All right, so basically how this event came to be was that you reached out to me, Chef, and you said, hey, I've got this really cool new cocktail book that I'm super excited to do. And I was like, let's do it, let's talk about it. I really want to tell the story today of the interconnected culture of Caribbean cocktails and the spirits and people that come from there and how it relates to the past and the future, and all of you who are actually the people who are actively documenting that history right now and what we enjoy in the glass today. So, Chef Nelson, I wanted to start out by asking you, what made you want to write this book? This is your first cookbook. All right, yes. So not only is it some bites from the Afro-Latino Diaspora, but it's mostly focused on cocktails. So I wanted to ask you, how did you decide to do a cocktail book versus just like a cookbook? What was the reason why?
Yeah, it's a huge milestone for me, y'all. Thank you.
I don't think they understand how hard it is to write a cocktail or a cookbook. It's very hard.
It's a 2 to 3 year process. It's a really long process, but it's a beautiful one when the memories come in and you just gotta think about happy times and good recipes with family, enjoying time, R&Ding and stuff like that. So it was originally gonna be a cookbook. We wrote a cookbook, and then we had 3 wonderful publishers that wanted to get the book. So it was a whole process, right? You write something, and then you have to ship it. You have to basically buy it out. You have to find a publisher to want to distribute your book and help promote it and help edit it. And 2 of the publishers were okay with the cookbook. The other one, 10 Speed, which we went with, is a local brand. They're amazing. They're under the Penguin Random House, so one of the biggest in the world. And they were like, we're big fans of your bar. We see you bartend. What do you think about doing a cocktail book instead? Because that's the first time ever chef's done a cocktail book. And the original cookbook was actually a cookbook with cocktails. We're planning to do recipes paired with the cocktails. So I love doing that. I think it builds a great experience. And we went with it. Honestly, it was something new because there's so many cookbooks out there. It's kind of oversaturated. Everybody's doing cookbooks now, even people on Instagram and all that, right? TV hosts and all that. So we want to do something different.
Can I not do one? What?
You can, of course.
All right.
You pay your dues.
All right, keep going.
But we went with it. It was amazing. And honestly, with the whole process too, I could start thinking back about my past. And when my friends we get together, I was actually doing cocktails too. And that's something I forgot about through years. But it was like coming full circle and really remembering about these memories. And it's been the most amazing experience for me.
Yeah. I think one more thing that I'll ask you before I move forward is this was really an opportunity to dive into your identity, though. And I think that this is something that you and I share in common. Being mixed kids, it's kind of a journey that you went through to understand more about yourself and who you are.
Yes. I'm Dominican nationality, so Afro-Latino. Very proud of that. Very proud of the Afro part. Aquí estamos, so it's also a book that tells a story. It tells my story, my journey, how I started bartending, how I started cooking, growing up in Washington Heights from New York City. If you guys ever seen In the Heights, that's my neighborhood. We do dance and play dominoes and listen to music all the time. But it was really telling that story, right? How from childhood, how everything came to be, and then have wonderful recipes. The recipes really bring deeper roots of mine. I'm Dominican, but my ancestors come from West Africa, from Cameroon. So we tell that story too and really honor the deeper roots that I have, my ancestors, my people, and continue to move that forward.
Yeah, amazing. Andrea, you are a chef. You have done some private chef work, but I think that maybe now you kind of consider yourself a storyteller. It's really important for you to kind of document the underlying things that make our foods come to life and how they get to our plate. This is the 3rd book that you've co-authored, is that correct? How did you get involved in working on making this book with Chef Nelson, and what was really important to you that went into the book?
So first place, we were introduced by Dame Tanya Holland, you know, of the California Soul, Brown Sugar Kitchen, you know, fabulous, great Black female of the Bay Area. There's even a day named for her in Oakland, I think.
Yeah,
so, mutual friend. And so I'm a culinary anthropologist, and I like to look. This is my first cocktail book. I didn't know I was going to write a cocktail book, as Nelson mentioned. But you know, we got together. We started talking. We're both from New York. You know, he's from Wash Heights. My daughter was living in Wash Heights. He talks about in the book how he got his inspiration from the Copacabana in New York. I used to go dancing at the Copacabana. It was just crazy. We had all these points of connection. Co-authoring a book is a very intimate relationship. So I think we were very blessed that that relationship just came very naturally to us. What was interesting for me and what I loved about this project and what I'll be talking about a little later on is how I discovered that cocktails, as much as food, are a way of transmitting culture. And as a culinary anthropologist, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for patterns across time that reveal something about culture that perhaps we haven't noticed. Yeah. And I love the way that food recipes do that. And I love the way that cocktails in this book do that. And that was a great, it was a new journey for me of exploration. And so I think that was the most fun part of it.
Awesome. You also are being very humble. You helped to style the imagery that a lot of people are, a lot of these photos people are seeing here.
We had a fabulous photographer.
Yeah. Who's actually a Trader Vic's veteran himself.
Right.
Gonzalez.
Eddie Gonzalez from Lemonade. But so he took the photos, but I art directed. I did all the prop styling and the food styling. And that was really fun for me because it's like sort of my side gig.
Okay.
And I was really excited to be able to do it in such a beautiful space. We took all of the photographs in Sobre Mesa, and it just created a beautiful background for what we were doing.
Amazing. All right. I wanted to tell you that at the same time that you were reaching out about your cocktail book, there were some amazing filmmakers who couldn't make it here today who were working on a documentary about a man who really was known as championing what we know today as Tiki culture. The name of the film is The Dawn of Tiki, and they explain through the movie how Don the Beachcomber, may be familiar, anybody who's a real fan, his name is Ernest Gant. And I wanted to touch on the movie because I thought that they did a really great job of explaining the history of how the roots of Caribbean spirits, culture, and drinks made its way throughout the world and then was brought back to the United States. This movie takes what you see here. This is basically almost like a stop-action movie. There's not a lot of footage or imagery of people drinking from this time, clearly, in bars, which we don't even have today that much, right? But also not that much footage of him. And what they did was they created these puppets to explain the story of Don the Beachcomber and how it came to be. I thought it was a fantastic film. It's going to be coming out next year. And so I thought it would be really great to show how he brought this culture to the Los Angeles area. And we actually have a clip from the movie to play right now.
Don was serving these very elaborate, layered, teasingly elusive, flavored rum cocktails, his rum rhapsodies, as he called them, lavishly presented in hacked open coconuts or scooped out pineapples or with delicate little ice shells lining the inside of the glass. And they tasted like nothing anybody had had before. And it became a sensation.
Having spent some time in Jamaica, and the smell of Jamaica rum is always in my nostrils, I developed rum drinks. And no one had ever tasted rum drinks. In those days, a cocktail, we probably had martinis and Manhattans, and the ladies never drank rum because they never had been exposed to it. And I made these gutsy rum punches, the Zombie, and Missionary Downfall, and the Sumatra Coolers. Altogether, I've created some 64 different rum drinks.
Don Beach is America's second most famous mixologist. Jerry Thomas being the first, then we had Prohibition, and then Don Beach came out.
Before Dawn, cocktails were really based on the product that you were serving, really highlighting the star ingredient in it, which was the spirit. Dawn came after Prohibition and started making his own syrups, his own ingredients, ice program, fresh juices to order.
The reason why nobody had had drinks like that before was that he created them out of whole cloth. They existed not in Polynesia, but in the Caribbean as a very simple construct. Basically, rum, lime, and sugar. And the 200-year-old rhyme that was the Planter's Punch recipe in Jamaica, 1 of sour, 2 of sweet, 3 of strong, 4 of weak. And that was as complicated as most drinks got in the Caribbean.
I hope that they'll watch the live stream of this later and they'll hear you clapping. They're not here, you know, again, but they'll enjoy that. There you go. Thank you. It's a fantastic movie. It really details the life of Dawn, but what I ended up realizing is that the connection here in the Bay Area was very much connected to Trader Vic's.
Yes.
And so the filmmakers mentioned that you all were an integral part of understanding how to put the movie together. You hosted one of the watch parties at Trader Vic's. I want to talk about your grandfather. So he's essentially considered part of the big three of people who brought tiki culture and this type of drinking to the United States and the impact on the Bay Area. Started around 1934. This is an important, crucial time in the United States. We're coming right out of Prohibition.
After Prohibition, he was a father. He had 3 kids. He had done multiple jobs. He had never bartended except on San Pablo Avenue. His aunt and uncle owned a bar right there on 65th and San Pablo. The building's still there, by the way. It's a grocery store now. And so he went to go work for them. And one night he had a guest ordered a Manhattan, and he tried to make one, and the guest complained. So the guest actually made the drink for him. He put this in his book. It's funny.
Wow.
Anywho, afterwards, he was really good with people and entertaining, and he loved bartending. It just seemed something flowed. But he didn't like his uncle. So he was doing the night shift, and he kept them up all night long. And so his aunt loaned him some money, and he built his bar, Hinky Dinks, across the street. And the legend lives on. But so they went on and they worked really hard, and then he wanted to learn more. He was hearing about Don the Beachcomber. He visited South Seas, is a bar, tropical bar in San Francisco. And he was someone who liked self-education. He was really smart. So he took a trip, took the train to New Orleans and visited New Orleans, tried to learn about rum rhapsodies. And then he went to Cuba, and his mentor was Constantino of the bar La Florida. And the daiquiri really was kind of his foundation cocktail. He went back, and he didn't quite do Trader Vic's right away. That was his nickname. He opened a little patio, and he called it the Bamboo Room, and he did a Planter's Punch, a mojito, a daiquiri, and a couple of gin and tonic. Very basic drinks. And then people wanted those drinks, and so he started to serve them in the main bar, and then it grew and built. And then I've been actually digitizing menus and researching for quite some time now, and so I really see the journey he went and how he came into his own with his own style of mixing drinks. And he always honored Don the Beachcomber on the back of his menus because that really was a mentor. Although he couldn't replicate his drinks because Don the Beachcomber never made his drinks in front of the guests. They were always made behind a wall to keep his secrets.
In fact, it was quoted in the movie that it was so secretive and also not nearly as streamlined, that there would be individual people bartending behind the scenes who would have one portion of the recipe only. And so it would go along in kind of like almost like a conveyor belt style assembly line. And each person would add one portion of the recipe that only they would know. Well, maybe not the most efficient way to do things, right? When you're trying to get drinks out fast.
So I guess he like tried to reverse engineer a few things. And so Don the Beachcomber used falernum, and my grandfather really introduced using orgeat. And so he was kind of the first. There is a funny thing that we discovered in the archives is there was a list of people that he sent his, when he came out with his book of food and drink in 1946. So it had like Herb Cain, it had this, all these people, blah, blah, blah. Don the Beachcomber, he sent him a book because my grandfather never kept his drinks a secret, you know, so he kind of shared it, and so he was pretty grand in that place.
Yeah. And then taking inspiration from building upon cocktails to create complex flavors with unique spirits, spices, and different things like you've mentioned, falernum, orgeat. We have the Mai Tai.
Yes.
So Trader Vic's is the inventor of the Mai Tai, and I believe, tell me if I'm wrong, maybe the crab rangoon was started at Trader Vic's. Is that true?
Yes.
I did not know that until today.
So, you know, he discovered that you can take a wonton wrapper and put something in it and fry it, and it's good.
It is good. I can attest to that. So amazing history there. Speaking of history, so this is one of the surprises, Eve. KQED this year is actually celebrating 70 years of being... We made it through, y'all. We made it through. 70 years of providing service to the public. And in those 70 years' time, you mentioned that there might be something in the archives of your grandfather. And so is Robert Chahosky in the house?
Oh, did you find it?
Robert, please stand. Okay, so everybody, this is Robert, who I couldn't convince to come up to the stage, but Robert helped me. Robert's our archivist, and he has helped to maintain the history of everything that KQED has ever produced here. It's one person, okay, who's like saving it and making sure that it can be found and preserved for all time, right? Huh? What'd you say?
I'm blushing.
Oh, good, good. You should. I can keep going, Robert. You're fantastic. You're funny. You like to interrupt people. No, I'm just... You're great. He went through and he found some footage that Eve has actually never seen and didn't even know was going to happen today.
Is it
going
to be bad?
No, I mean, I don't think it's bad. We'll see what happens. I would like to show this clip in real time to everybody and Eve for the first time from a KQED production, and then I'll explain what you've seen after the clip rolls. Let's take a look.
And now it's time to introduce tonight's lifestyle guest. Again, though, I'm kind of at a loss for a convenient label. Trader Vic Bergeron is more diversified than most holding companies. He's a restaurateur with a flair for showmanship. He is a painter whose canvases are sold all over the world. He's also an author and a sculptor and a homespun philosopher with an opinion on almost any subject you care to name. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Trader Vic. Pleasure to meet you, sir. Have a seat here. We're gonna... Well, yeah, they put out, your assistant was here putting out, these are Trader Vic's own things.
Wonderful.
I must say, you know, I've, like every American I can think of, have eaten at your establishments and benefited thereby, maybe overdone it a little occasionally. And I have a friend who calls himself a Trader Vic freak, and he eats nowhere else. Wherever he is, he goes to the Trader Vic's, and he has them rated as to what are the best and his favorite
I'd like
places.
to meet him. I've never met one like that. I thought we had a lot of steady customers, but not quite that good.
Yeah, well, he's got definite ideas about him. Where did the name Trader Vic come from? Your name is Victor Bergeron.
This is kind of cute. Our place used to be called a Hinky Dinks.
And that was here in San Francisco, wasn't
No, over in Oakland.
In Oakland.
The Mother Church. And we couldn't build a story around Hinky Dinks. It was a horrible name. And we sat down in a booth, and I was buying a few things from the South Pacific to sell in the store. And my first wife we got to think of what do we call it? And she says, we'll call it Trader Vic's. How about that? You're always trading, you're doing it. I says, that's my name, and the first fellow that doesn't call me Trader Vic's, I'll fire him. And that's how Trader Vic's was born.
Trader Vic.
Inside of 3 months, they had me losing my leg in the South Pacific by a shark.
Now, you did lose your leg.
Well, that was in 1906.
Now, actually, people might think that Trader Vic was born with a silver spoon in his mouth because of his success, but there were hardships in your early part of your life, as
Well,
I
I guess
understand.
just about, well, my father had a little grocery store, and I had this leg off, and they taught me how to make a living, how to earn money. I raised rabbits, I raised flowers and sold the flowers. Went down to Klinkner's drugstore and bought black and white Christmas cards, and then painted the holly berries and the Santa Claus, and paid 15 cents for the Christmas cards and sold them for 35 cents.
Was that the beginning of your painting career? I mean, did you...
No, it might have been. I know. I started that about 20 years ago when I found out that I had to do something besides run restaurants.
When did you paint this picture of the balloons in the field? That's a...
1968 or 9.
Were you at a balloon meet?
No, you know, it's so foolish. People ask me, why do I paint balloons? I paint balloons because they sell.
Go ahead and tell them what you told me while you're watching.
That painting hung in his dining room, and after he passed, I have that painting in my living room. Yeah. That's such a great clip. Yeah. And that's exactly how he was.
Yeah, I thought...
So I was wondering, like, oh God, what's he gonna say?
I can't stress enough how special this is, because KQED has been doing what we've been doing for a very long time. Does anyone recognize who the host was? Anybody know who that was? Hugh Downs. Okay, so this was a program that was actually made here at KQED in the 70s. Hugh Downs was the host. It was actually one of the first things that he ever did. He got major success from this, won an Emmy as well. And it was actually a lifestyle show. It was called Over Easy. And the premise was focusing on lifestyle and the health of aging and older generations. Oh. Yeah, so they had invited him to come along to kind of talk about his life and how he had become the person that he was. And I thought that the clip was very funny because clearly he's a humorous person, but he's a business person. He's a hustler. He knew how to make some money, right?
Yeah. I guess so. No, actually, if you want to see some of his sculpture, 2 of his seals are at the Steinhardt Aquarium. They keep moving them around. I have to find them each time, you know. But they used to flank the aquarium on the outside of the entrance.
Wow.
And so forth. But later in his years, I mean, he painted a lot and he sculpted a lot, you know. And his favorite thing was geology. Rock hunting, and that was our connection. You know, a kid, oh, he's got a rock, you know.
I'm glad that you liked that clip, and it was an honor to share it with you. So thank you also, Robert, for helping us find that. It's really
Thank you, Robert.
All right, so Carlos, can you please tell me how you got into the mixology business? Where did your love for drinking and drinks come from, and also crafting? I'm assuming you love to drink, but and crafting cocktails.
Definitely, yes. Well, I started working in the industry 25 years ago, approximately, and out of those 25 years, I've spent 12 years working at Trader Vic's. I started working as a bartender, then I became part of the management, and I've been in charge of running the cocktail program at Trader Vic's, and it's such an amazing experience, you know, building cocktails with different techniques, different ingredients that I was not familiarized with before. I used to work in Mexican restaurants, most likely, and I found this concept amazing, you know, to work with, and has a lot of tools to work with.
Right. What is the thing that you're really most excited about when it comes to like bar? Like, what is the thing that really kind of gets you?
Working behind the bar.
Yeah. Okay. So
I
you
still
enjoy,
love it. Yeah.
You really
Whenever I have a chance, I love working behind the bar. I love the interaction with our guests. I think working behind the bar is more like a authentic approach to our clientele, and yeah, I love that interaction. You know.
So what are the ways that you kind of like innovate now for Trader Vic's? Like, how are you doing new things? Because obviously we have this like long-standing culture of this bar that's done really well. How do you bring like new things in? What are the?
Yeah, I mean, we also, we got to make sure that we respect the original ingredients from tiki cocktails. You know, falernum, allspices, cinnamon, all those ingredients that are a big part of the tiki cocktails. But I also like to innovate by bringing new items based on my culture. I like to bring like different ingredients such as hibiscus, maybe like tamarind, playing with those ingredients, and also implement different techniques like fat washes. You know, we're working a lot with fat washes.
Can you explain? Does anybody know what a fat wash is? Okay, just a handful. Can you explain what a fat wash is?
Yes, basically mixing a spirit with different fat washes. You can mix like coconut oil with, for example, Campari. That's one of the ingredients that we're actually using at the restaurant. So it's basically that fusion of the oils with the spirit. Then you just let it rest a little bit in the freezer, so you can extract the oil from the spirit. And you can implement that in different cocktails.
Yeah, so you're getting a little bit of the flavor that's kind of infused in through the resting process.
Exactly.
Okay.
We've been doing also a lot of clarifications. That's been part of the new program that we just came with back in February. We just started with this new concept with hinky dinks. So we're using one of the small we're using one of the small banquet rooms and turn it into like a speakeasy saloon. Every like 3 Tuesdays, so it's a fun way to come up with like different techniques, different cocktails, more like reinterpretations, you know, of some original cocktails, but using different techniques.
Yeah, bringing your own spin and also pulling in other cultures to incorporate into the new age of tropical drinking culture. Yeah,
that is correct. Yes.
I would love now to kind of open up the panel to discussion of like more of the history that you've learned, Chef Nelson, from where you're from, right? And what you've learned. I would love to also, even though the drink that everyone's gonna enjoy after the show that you've brought doesn't have rum, it's not a rum-based drink. I know, very interesting, but it's a great cocktail. I mean, I wanna talk a little bit about the history of the Caribbean and its influence, especially in the realm of spirits and the flavors that we experience today. So let's kind of walk through a little bit of it. I think it's really important to kind of start with sugar, right?
Yes.
And the history of that. So kick us off. What are some of the things that you learned in crafting your book about the history and how we got here today?
For me, it's just the ingredients, honestly. You know, and being Dominican, being Caribbean, I realized like even just growing up with my family and dad and uncles when they're drinking, it's not always about drinking rum. They love other spirits. Scotch is very popular out there, whiskey, gin. Now agaves are becoming popular in the Caribbean. So there's a lot of versatility regarding that. Rum, of course, is very traditional. There's a lot of generational drinking with that. A lot of traditions been passed down. Like for me, for example, my dad and uncle sat me down, gave me my first sip of rum about the age of 18. Yes, it wasn't 21, 18. I was amongst family in the living room, and it was a kind of coming to becoming a man, right? No, I wasn't a man. 18, you're still kind of a kid. It's that passing down, like, son, this is a rum that we enjoyed when we were young. Still enjoy it to this day, but this is the first rum I ever had. We sip on it, and it's about sipping. It's not about taking shots and trying to get drunk right away. It was just,
right away, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Down the line, of course.
Got it. Okay.
But it was this beautiful kind of moment of like sipping on something that's come down from real people from the Caribbean, from different families that we might have known from our, different cities, different farms, different barrios, we call it. It's just like you're coming through with your roots, right? I sipped that rum and it was like, wow, it's strong, but it's delicious. And for me, it was that moment just drinking with my dad and uncle. And this is something that they've been passed down through generations, where you just sit down, you have a sip of rum, you learn about the story, you learn about the family. For me, it was Brugal. It's the most famous rum in the Dominican Republic. We had a sip of that. It's the most national one. And it's the rum that you drink when you're younger, because then they passed down another rum for me. It was called Barceló. Barceló is like the old man's drinking rum. The one, once you reach like 40 years old, this is what you drink. So at 18 years old, they introduced me to Barceló, and it was like telling me about that family, how they started. And just like all these traditions and generational passing, it's a beautiful thing. It's something that really I still remember to this day. And the book actually brought that memory back for me. Because, you know, we grow older, we forget about things, right? We're in our kind of elements, working a lot. But that moment, I realized like how special it is. And that one glass of rum is like, means the world. So even for me, when I introduce new guests coming in, or if Carlos comes into my bar, I'm gonna have him sip a little bit of rum with me. And it just gives beautiful cheers, like welcome to my home. Yeah. There's a tradition behind that. There's a special moment of bonding. You're welcoming somebody into your house. So rum is really special for me when it comes to that. But we love variety. And with this book, we want to introduce different variety of different tropical cocktails. You know, I think what her grandfather did too is just like, it's all about those ingredients, the fruit, right? The mango, the tamarind, the coconut, the pineapple. It's these ingredients that you can use in so many different ways that represent the country and the people. Something that we grow in our backyards out there, you know?
Exactly. Andrea, part of what you do is study the evolution of how things have traveled through the world. There's a big part of your study and research that dives into the history. So I'm gonna kind of go over like where we kind of came from, right? We can't avoid talking about the slave trade and how sugarcane really was prevalent. And this is how rum became an important part of how bodies were utilized to monetize this thing that then became a spirit that we use today. And I don't know that people really understand that history very much. What can you kind of talk about around that?
Absolutely. When Columbus brought a piece of sugarcane from the Canary Islands on his second voyage in 1493 to the Dominican Republic. It immediately took root. It grows very well in the Caribbean, and the Spanish realized that they had something on their hands so they could grow sugar. Sugar wasn't even that popular in Europe at the time because it was for wealthy people. It was considered either for wealthy people or medicinal. Once they realized what they had on their hands, so it was this deadly combination of something that grows well and enslaved labor that was brought over from Africa. More slaves were brought to the Caribbean and Brazil to grow sugarcane than for any other purpose. They then created a market that allowed them to lower the price, and all of a sudden they had this commodity, and it was this beast that they couldn't stop feeding. And it's called the triangle trade because they would actually take, so rum is a byproduct of sugar, of the molasses that's created when you make sugar. It's questionable whether the fermentation process either came from the indigenous people living in the Caribbean or from the West Africans who had been making palm wine and sorghum beer for over 1,000 years when they arrived in the Caribbean. But whether they introduced the knowledge, they were definitely the ones that created it. So then this triangle trade would mean that sometimes the people rum was shipped back to West Africa to pay for more bodies to come to the Caribbean. So drinking is very enjoyable. It's something that we embrace. We have an opportunity now to be conscious of what we're doing, and at least let's give credit where credit is due. So we develop coined a phrase in the book called distillery justice, which is very important to me. It comes from the work of Michael Twitty, who coined the phrase culinary justice maybe 20 years ago. Distillery justice says that not just credit, but also money should feed back to the people who are creating the product and are responsible for what we're enjoying. Yes. And fortunately now there's a big change going on in the Caribbean where there are Caribbean people who are now have distilleries, make rum, create product. And so I would just ask that when you buy rum, think about who's making it, where it's coming from. Yeah. Yes, thank you, sister, for your amens. I appreciate you.
I appreciate what you've said, and I'm going to kind of fast forward us into history a little bit. You know, these spirits were actually not prevalent in the United States until Prohibition started. So basically, people in the United States were not making the spirits that were there, vodkas and gins. And so the folks who were traveling to different areas were actually bringing in illegally these spirits from other places. And that is kind of how, an additional part of how we here in the United States got to experience these spirits. Fast forward even further through that, World War II marks a huge shift for the United States and what we kind of see and know today as tiki culture. World War II ends, the United States takes Hawaii, makes it a state in 1959, and boom, there's a standardization kind of the appropriation and amalgamation of a multitude of cultures, not just Hawaiian cultures, but the Caribbean, Polynesian, and they're all kind of brought together to create kind of this experience for people who had never been to these areas before. And it starts out with exploring the tastes and everything, and then kind of gently moves its way along in the 80s, right? There's kind of like a big shift in the 80s where instead of these amazing craft cocktails, we've moved to speed.
Flaring bottles.
Flaring. We've moved to kind of maybe cheaper mixers, things that will kind of get the party going.
Overly sweet.
Exactly.
No balance, you know, like what Jeff Berry said in the video, the formula between sweet, sour, and strong.
Right, exactly. And we kind of lose what the core was of this exploration and these tropical drinks, and it kind of doesn't celebrate the cultures from which it came from anymore. From there, I believe that now you all are part of a shift in the culture, going from what has been known as kind of like strictly tiki and appropriative to now really celebrating the spirits, the people, the flavors of which they come from, and bringing in a new wave of drinking and cocktails. You all are working on this at Trader Vic's. You all have charitable partnerships that you support.
Yes. I mean, in our restaurant, we have, for example, tapa cloth on the walls. We know the family who made the tapa. And when there was the volcano went off in Tonga, we did a fundraiser. When there was a fire in Maui, we do fundraiser. We work with the Easter Island Foundation, and this is a great foundation.
And the Pacific Islanders Cultural Association of the Bay Area as well.
And Easter Island Foundation, they have their students, they send them out for college, and then they come back to the island. And one of the students became like the governor of Eastern Island. You know, it's pretty amazing. So there's great things you can do,
Exactly.
But, sometimes with the decor is like, we knew the people who carved these tikis. It wasn't just something that we picked up somewhere, And so, to me, we appreciate the culture. And so it's more cultural appreciation, Exactly. Sometimes we get a bad rap, but it's like, when you go in the restaurant, everything in there has been made by somebody that we know.
Amazing. And it's a fantastic way to segue into how some of these amazing drinks are made and how they come together, to be able to show and demonstrate how these spirits from the Caribbean make fantastic drinks. Out of curiosity for everybody in the audience, is anybody like a former bartender? Is anybody like very versed and couple former bartenders here? Okay. All right. So you all know how to make some drinks. So how many of you have like never mixed your own drink at home? No, you've never made your own cocktail at home? No? Okay. Would you like the chance to come up and learn from would you like that? You raised your hand so fast. Would you?
Front row.
Would you be down?
Do it.
Come on. Yeah. All right. So, how about this? So come on up over here this way. There you go. Let's come and have you. Big round of applause as we get sorted here. All right, you go ahead over. There we go. Oh, we got some walk-on music for you. This is great. Be careful as you go to these stairs. Okay, be careful. This is very somber walk-up music as we get the party started. Okay, go ahead and right over here. You didn't know what you were getting into when you raised your hand, did you? All right. Okay, amazing. So the drink that you all tried when you came in, the delicious Mai Tai from Trader Vic's. How did you like it? It was good? Good. All right, so really quickly, what's your name?
Juan.
Okay, Juan, and where are you from?
Born and raised in San Francisco. I grew up in the Tenderloin, lived in the Ocean View neighborhood, and I now have my own property in Mission Bay.
Okay, Where did you celebrate your 5th birthday? Would you like to tell us a little more? All right, no, this was great. I'm giving you a hard time. Come on up here. Come on nice and close. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. So basically, Carlos, you are going to show Juan how to make the Mai Tai, specifically done in a very specific way. Now, there's certain things that are very important about this particular drink, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the uniqueness of a Trader Vic's Mai Tai, okay?
Yes,
All
okay,
right.
so we're gonna show you the proper way that we make a original Mai Tai at Trader Vic's.
Okay.
Right, so we're gonna start off by using one of these specialty lime squeezers. So we're gonna start off by squeezing a piece of lime.
All right, so I'm gonna get everything ready here so everybody can kind of see this. And Juan, I'm gonna help you out. So you're gonna stand right nice and close and you're gonna copy everything that Carlos is doing. And then by the end of this, you'll be opening your own bar, yeah?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, here we go, on the tenderloin. Okay, here we go.
And by the way, we're gonna build this into the Mai Tai glass, okay? So we're gonna squeeze it a little bit. You don't have to squeeze it all the way. Just
That's a
little
very
bit.
unique thing to do, to build it into the glass, and we're gonna see why we're doing this later, okay? All right,
And we're
here we
gonna
go.
set aside the lime that we're gonna use later for garnish, okay?
There you go. Oh, squeeze a little bit harder. Nice. Great job.
That's perfect.
All right. All right.
Excellent.
And then now we've set it here to the side because we're going to use this later. Keep your eye on the
Right.
lime, everybody. Be a little trick. All right, there we go. All right.
So now we're gonna follow by pouring 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. So
Had
we're
you
just
ever
gonna,
had a Mai Tai before today?
I have. It's one of my favorite drinks.
Okay, now you're going to know how to make it. All right, here we go. So now you're going to take this. Go
by the
ahead.
way, this is an ounce jigger, so 3/4 is gonna be like all the way here.
There you go.
And you always try to build it in front of your glass, okay?
I put it
little
over
bit
the
more.
glass for spillsies.
Great.
Excellent, okay?
Go. And then if you weren't, caught off guard doing this, you'd pour it right up all the way to the top to get us 1 ounce here, right? All the way to
Correct.
the top for 1 ounce.
That is
Okay.
correct.
Always when using these as a forward bartender, I'm gonna, get a little.
This is like the proper jigger that we use at Trader Vic.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so the measuring things here are very precise. So you use your jigger to pour all the way to the top always whenever you're making a
You
drink.
can pretty much make every single cocktail that we have in the cocktail menu with this jigger.
Amazing. Okay, so
right.
after the lime, what do we do?
So the next ingredient is going to be rock candy syrup. So we're using our own Trader Vic's rock candy. So we're going to put just 1/4 of an ounce. It's going to be a little bit like this.
There you go.
Right? Then put it here.
Great job. So this is part of our sweetness, right?
Correct.
Why rock candy?
That's good.
Why rock candy syrup? Is there a particular reason to use that versus
It's
simple
just
syrup?
It's just
Part
a
of the
simple
recipe.
syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. There you go. There you go.
We have to name everything something in Trader Vic's.
Great. All right.
We're
What's the
going to
next step?
follow with orgeat syrup, which is basically almond syrup. So we're going to put 1/2 ounce of it.
So if you notice his technique with the jigger, he's not doing, I see on Instagram, people are like the jigger and then they go like this into the glass.
Yeah, we always kind of like tilt the jigger a little bit like this. So we
then
can
do it.
actually build a drink on top of the glass. Okay, that's 1/2 ounce, correct?
Great job.
Perfect.
All right. And there's also a really specific reason why bartenders will often, very well-trained bartenders, will start in the way that you're starting right now and
Yeah, it's
and
really-
building the cocktail this way.
It's really important to avoid, in case that you put in grain ingredient with the measurement.
Right.
You can actually just dump the rest of the ingredients and just save the alcohol, which is the most expensive.
Alcohol most
part of
expensive,
the
so you
cocktail.
always start with the
Always
cheapest.
to start with the
things first.
cheapest ingredients and then.
There you go.
Also, when you have the syrup, the alcohol rinses out the jigger, and then you
And you can keep making drinks quick and fast and get everybody through
we
it.
do all these little things you don't know about.
All right.
Our next ingredient is going to be orange curacao. So we're going to put 3/4 of an ounce of orange curacao.
Are you taking notes mentally, like on how to do this? You're gonna remember?
I hope somebody's rolling tape here.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
So 3/4 is going to be all the way here.
In the Caribbean.
You also have a very steady hand. Are you a surgeon?
A little bit more. A little bit more.
I'm distracting you. I'm sorry.
It's focused. All right.
Okay.
This for you.
All right. What's the
And
next?
last but not least, we're gonna put 2 ounces of our Trader Vic's Royal Amber rum, which is basically a blend of gold and dark rums.
They did grow in.
So we're gonna put 2 ounces.
Oh, they declined.
Ooh. Oh. All right. A little speed there. Okay. Can you do it just as fast?
No.
Okay. Great. No, much more.
Oh, that's so short. More, all the way to the top. All the way to the top.
You're doing great.
More. Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, there you go.
1 ounce, another one.
I did not expect this to happen, by the way, so.
All the way to the top.
I forgot to tell you that this cocktail is going to be for you at the end, so, you know, load it up. Load it up. All right, here we go.
All right,
Okay, so
we're
that's
gonna
all
grab
of
our
the...
Mai Tai shaker. So
Okay.
this is specifically made to fit this Mai Tai glasses.
All right.
So we're gonna put some crushed ice in here.
Now, this is very special ice. This is really cool ice. This is very special to the Mai Tai. Crushed ice, pebble ice. Tell me about the ice, very important.
Well, you want it to dilute, you know, so you'll see when he shakes it, you do want a little bit of dilution with the ice. That's why we don't, he'll probably, when he gets to it.
Go ahead and help out with ice.
You'll be shaking, and then you have to, otherwise you'll have a cloying, strong, sweet. You want a little bit of water dilution with the ice, and so it melts a little bit faster than cubed ice.
Exactly, and the Mai Tai, along with other drinks much like it, are incredibly strong. They're mostly, you know, they're like a lot of spirits and sugar too, so it helps with that dilution.
Because some of our drinks have like 3 rums in it, 3 different rums, and it's kind of a unique thing because you never put like 3 different vodkas in a drink, you know? But if you put 3 different rums, you have a light, dark, a 151, you know.
Exactly. All right.
Something unique.
All right, so now we've got our ice in here in our shaker tin.
Ice in your shaker. So we're gonna transfer the liquid to our shaker, like this. And then we're just gonna do a gentle tap.
I cannot stress to you the importance of the tap, okay? I really wanna, so go ahead. All right, there you go. Now gently, okay. Now.
Gentle tap, there you
Okay.
go. So you're gonna grab
stand
the shaker
back.
with one hand, the other one right here.
Because this is your first time shaking a drink, right?
It is.
Okay. This is real glass, everybody.
You never shake to the front, you always shake to the sides, okay? So we're gonna shake a little bit to the side, like this.
A little higher. There you go. Get a little. There you go.
Now
How do you
see
feel?
this little gap right here?
This is great.
We're just gonna do like a gentle tap.
Gentle.
Oh, you did it! Great job. Okay, so that was actually really skillful because I can't tell you how many times I've broken glasses as a bartender, accidentally kind of catching them in the shaker tin. What happens, you know, because when you're shaking the ice, everything's getting nice and cold, right?
Yeah, so you're gonna be very careful when you're shaking with these glasses.
But just one little tap will release it.
And we'll release it.
All right, so next step
We're just
here.
gonna transfer now the Mai Tai into the Mai Tai glass.
Right. Now let's see how you did on your pouring because look at the level here, okay? We're right to the top, so let's see.
That was close. That was close.
That was good. That was good. It was good. Great job. Great job. You shorted yourself a little bit, but that's all right.
Just a little bit.
All right. Now, how do we finish it?
So we're gonna garnish it. We're gonna start it with by putting the lime shell that we used at the beginning. We're gonna put it right here, like that.
Great.
And then we're gonna grab a nice sprig of mint.
There you go. Pick your favorite. Oh, the whole thing? Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna grab it with one hand, and then you're gonna slap it a little bit, just to release the aromas of the mint. So when you're drinking the cocktail, you can actually smell the mint as well. So we're just gonna.
And then also the lime, when you squeeze it, the oils from the lime, so it's like right up front.
Yeah, it's kind of the first thing that hits your nose, which is what your olfactory senses are taking in before you even drink, right? Okay. And then it finishes with a straw, right?
With a straw. These are actually the same straws that we use in the restaurant. These are made out of rice pasta, and it's gluten-free.
So you get a snack after.
Exactly. And this is the Mai Tai. Basically, the garnish, the lime shell represents the island, and the mint represents the palm. So that's the story.
Oh, beautiful. All right, great job. Okay, but before you leave, now here's the thing. You know, some bartenders, not all bartenders do this. Some of them don't necessarily agree, but I would love for you to taste to see how Juan's drink came out by doing a little straw test here.
Perfect.
So if you ever see a bartender do this, it's because they're tasting to make sure that everything came out right. Let's see.
I think you can work with us now.
Great job. Great job. All right. Now here's my question. So, did you have fun? I did. Do you want to learn how to make one more cocktail?
That's why I'm here.
All right, sounds good. So we're gonna set this to the side, and Carlos, big thank you to you. I'm gonna have you go back. Thank you to Carlos. Come on over.
That was great.
You've just been so great. Why not keep you up here and have some more fun with Chef Nelson? So Chef Nelson is gonna get some things together. Here we go, great. All right, so I'm gonna help out here. So Juan, what's your favorite type of cocktail to drink while Chef Nelson's getting everything ready? What do you like to normally drink?
I do like an old-fashioned Moscow Mule.
Okay.
And tiki drinks as well, Mai Tais.
Okay, great. Well, that's perfect. So what Chef Nelson is actually going to be making, that was so fun because that was a shake and drink, right? Get to kind of experience the like bartender motion. This is going to be a stirred cocktail, okay? So much different. This one is going to be just simply making sure that the drink is as cold as possible with a stir motion. So, Chef Nelson, what did you bring today for us to enjoy? What's your cocktail?
We're gonna do something really delicious that's actually in the book. Who are fans of Negronis? Yeah. Oh, there we go, there we go. We're doing a tropical version of a Negroni. We're gonna use a beautiful black-owned gin called Common Ground. It has flavors of blood orange and thyme. We're also gonna use a beautiful, bitter, think Campari. So Negroni's right, 3 equal parts, right? Usually gin, sweet vermouth, and Campari. Using one from Haiti. So what we're talking about, right, we wanna give back to the people. So it's about what you're using, what ingredients you're using, and what spirits. So we're honoring our Haitian people with this beautiful, their version of Campari.
Amazing. We're going to get a little bit of a close-up here so everybody can kind of see what you're actually working with. And so this is the first one here, Forest Bitters. Is that that's just the name, or does
That's
it have
just the name.
Okay, great. And then we didn't go over this one yet, did we?
We did.
Okay, this one, let's see the label
Brown.
again here. Okay, there we go.
Out of Lodi.
Okay.
Our friend Julian is actually one of our regulars at our first restaurant. He was coming for years, and he loved drinking gin at the bar, where he started making his own, and now he has his own beautiful brand.
All right.
Check them out.
And then this one here, we'll go ahead and go over.
Got our sweet vermouth. It's a beautiful classic one photo. It's a vermouth Torino, so it's like a Amaro meets vermouth. I love Amaros. I love Italian culture, and Amaros are always great to drink after a big meal.
Okay, and
We
then
have that.
this one's really special here.
This is where the tropical aspect comes. 2 ways, right? We have the Haitian bitters that has hibiscus in it, sorrel, and grapefruit. And then this one is special. This is actually from the Dominican Republic, called Chinola. It's one of the only fruit puree liqueur brands in the world. They have a mango, they have a passion fruit, they have a pineapple, and then also a newest flavor coming in 2 weeks. One I'm super excited about is guava. Oh man, guava is my all-time favorite.
All right.
So look, going to the bodegas, getting these beautiful breads filled with guava and chocolate. It's, man, best memories.
All right. Okay, so have you had one of these kind of cocktails before? Are you a fan of Negroni?
No, I've never tried it. So
Okay.
yes,
All right, so this will be unique and very different. So, Chef, what if we started out with in our mixing glass here?
So I just added the ice. As you can see, I like sexy ice. Look how clear that is.
So this is really special. So this is clear ice, Chef.
Yes, yes.
So this is made in a really unique way.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it melts super slow. That's why we use this kind of ice. It's just visually appealing.
Cool.
Again, the word sexy.
All right, so in the mixer here, you
Yes.
have some ice already.
Yes.
And what's unique about what we're gonna do right now is that we're actually gonna build 2 cocktails in this, unlike what we did before. I really wanted to show you all how to do this because if you're bartending at home, instead of just making 1 at a time, you can make 2 at a time. We're gonna show you how to do it. All right, so what do you start with?
Let's do it. So this is a spirit-forward cocktail. So it's all booze. There's no juice in here, you know. So everything's equal parts, but because we're adding the chinola, we're gonna take one of our spirits and actually go halfway. So depending on Negroni, some people like it more bitter, some people like it more sweeter. So we're gonna decide here. You like yours more bitter? Bitter cocktails, more sweet? Kind of more in the middle?
Something in the middle.
In the middle? Okay, perfect. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna half the fayame. We'll go half and half.
All right,
So usually it's 1 ounce for Negroni. We're gonna go half ounce.
all right.
One of the things that I wanted to point out is that in the book, Caribbean Cocktails, we share with you all of the locally in the Caribbean produced alcohols and spirits, and we don't put in something that you're just going to use once. If we ask you to use like the chinola, you're going to find that in 3 or 4 different cocktails, so that you're stocking your bar with something that's useful and you get to sort of participate in the economies.
Amazing. All right, so the second spirit is going in. Everyone's real quiet right now.
Yeah, everybody's focused.
Very excited to see how you do this.
Fill it up all the way. Oh, he's nervous, y'all.
Got it down now. There you go.
Hey, the first time I started bartending, so the reason I started bartending, I've been a chef 29 years. As a business owner, you gotta do it all. You gotta be a plumber, you gotta be an electrician, accountant, everything. One night, Friday night, first Friday in Oakland is usually the busiest times. I had no bartender. And I was a shy kid always, right? I used to be a super introvert. Now you see me speaking, be on TV and this and that, but I used to, that was the first time I told myself, let me just go for it. Let me just go behind the bar and just, damn, I just gotta run my business, right?
Yeah.
And I went behind the bar and I fell in love. For me, it was a time, it was like halfway, we've been open 12 years. So at this point, we're like 5, 6 years old, Alamar. It's in Oakland on Grand Avenue, check it out. The only Dominican restaurant in the West Coast. So we're gonna go Archinola now, half ounce. Look at the beautiful color on this. But that day, I told myself, this is something that's gonna be really cool and different for me. I was nervous because I wasn't a speaker. I didn't like being in front of people. The kitchen's my safe space. So this time I'm out of the kitchen. But I was kind of complacent at that time in my career where I was kind of bored of my own food, seeing the same dishes all the time. And I just went for it. Went for it, fell in love because it was familiar. It was like cooking. The craft of what I love about the craft itself, it's an art form. Just like cooking, you're creating things from memory, from intention, from storytelling. And I did it. Of course, I messed up a lot, of course, you know, had some back, but I grew to really fall in love with it, have more appreciation. Actually, y'all, this is a beautiful bitters. So bitters are like sazon, or salt and pepper for cocktails. Think for food. This is a lime bitters. So I love lime. Usually you put orange bitters in Negronis to give it that little extra flair. We're doing some lime bitters, so.
All right, and here you are today with multiple restaurants, a book, and bartending here at the KQED live stage.
Exactly. Right, win a life. But I'm gonna show them real quick. So usually you use a spoon, you go around, kind of fill the glass, and you're going around. Just kind of, you're stirring a nice stew.
All right, so let's pass it over. Now there's a trick. Have you ever held a swizzle stick before? No? Okay, all right, careful with that thing. So isn't there a way to like kind of twist it, Chef, and stir at the same time? So when you're going around the glass, you're kind of stirring and swizzling?
Absolutely.
Okay. And what does that motion do besides just chill the drink?
So now it's chilling the drink and also diluting the drink. Remember, it's all booze. So the ice is melting very slowly in there to balance out the flavors.
All right.
Look at that color. Is that gorgeous?
Beautiful. And then
super red.
You said about 7 to 30 seconds for something like this, and you're kind of looking for a little bit of frostiness on the glass?
A little bit of frostiness, and also the ice will be melting about halfway down.
All right, great. Well, this is looking pretty good. So can we show how to pour? Can we show Juan how to pour? Okay, so this is your first pour, okay? All right, so here we go. I'd love for you to tell Juan how to make it so that both of these drinks will come out evenly.
So this thing, and that's what tripped me out the first time I started bartending, making multiple cocktails at once. With food, I can do it, right? That time, I done 10 plates at one time. But with cocktails, not easy. You got to get exactly the same, especially if it's people in front of you. And that's what tripped everything out. It was the first time I had somebody in front of me. So you have to talk, you have to create. It's made me respect bartenders so much more, and it became love.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to use this strainer. Go here.
Okay, so you're just pouring a little bit at a time. All right, and then let's stop there and let's let Juan give it a go here, all right? So it's kind of just like pouring out the right amount so that both cocktails are equally done.
And look at that ice, right? Isn't it sexy? That's the beauty about Caribbean cocktails. It's all about the ingredients. It's all about the flavors. You can use any spirit in the world, but we're honoring the mango, which is my mom's favorite fruit. So that's why we're using the mango in here. It's all about intention. It's all about memories, nostalgia.
All right.
It's a way to connect with people.
I think you're looking pretty good. You have almost every drop out of here, which is probably the most important thing, not to cocktail waste, right? And then, Chef, how do we finish this?
All right, y'all, we're gonna do an orange twist. I'm gonna use a peeler, going down, because I wanna use the oils of the orange to give it flavor. We're gonna squeeze it like this, bam. You guys, it was kind of hard to see, but Then I pour around, inside, outside. It's all about aromas too, right? You smell, you see. That makes you a little more hungry and kind of ready for the meal.
All right.
So I'm gonna peel one for you, because the peeler is kind of a dangerous tool.
Okay, all right, all right.
You know it.
Yeah, we don't need
wanna
any
use-
lawsuits, that's sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have insurance.
Peeler and you,
But you could do the last part, right? We can show
Exactly.
the squeeze. Okay,
Exactly.
great. Great job. Safety first, chef.
exactly.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, so you can grab it here.
But toward the drink, because this is the pith, everybody, the inside of the peel, we want to flip it so that you're going to where the oils are going into the glass, and then you squeeze into it.
It's 2 hands like here.
Like that. There you go.
Bam, squeeze.
Oh, flip it the other way. There you go. There you go. Oh, no, the other way. There you go. There, yeah, and then into the glass, though. Oh, yeah, there you go. Squeeze, okay. And then go around the edge, and that's where the flavor's imparted for the first few scents and tastes, right? Okay. And then we're finishing off with this beautiful
Yeah, and then we can actually drop it here
peel.
inside.
Great job.
Beautiful
and
color.
then you brought some nasturtium.
And of course, the old tweezer. We love chefs, we love our tweezers. Bartenders use it too. So you can grab that, grab a nice, beautiful flower. Put it right on top of that ice.
There you go. Perfect, yeah.
Ooh, look at that.
Okay. All right. And then, chef, we need you to do the same thing, a little straw test for us to see how Juan did.
Let's do it. Hey, he's hired.
Good?
Yeah. Good job, man.
Amazing job.
Thanks, man.
You did so well. We totally put you in the fire there out of nowhere. And so this one's for you over there. That one that you just did. Go ahead and take that one, and then cheers. Thank you for coming up here. Big cheers to Juan. All right, I'm gonna have you go off stage here to the side. Go ahead. Thank you so much.
Who's driving
All
one
right.
home?
Okay, amazing. I'm gonna have to try this later. So we are gonna be wrapping up the show in just a few moments here. And there's more to drink out there along with food. But I just wanna kind of finish up by asking you all, where do you kind of feel like you hope that the future of our drinking culture goes? I mean, Chef Nelson, you're already making it happen with this book coming out, bringing all of these things that you've learned to your multiple restaurants. What are you hopeful for?
Hopeful for more storytelling, more honoring the people, honoring the people who create these things, honoring the generations of these recipes, of these spirits, of these ingredients, to really live on and be honored always. You know, like we're doing in this book, we're using different spirits, not just rum, but we're creating these flavors that mean the world to my family, to my people, and just brings that Caribbean flair, that Caribbean love to everything. So we're going in a beautiful way where a lot of us of color can really do our food, our drinks, our flavors, and everyone's proud of that. We got a lot more respect in this industry now, and I'm loving the way it's going.
What do you hope that people can do? Yes, amazing. Andrea, what do you hope that people can do to continue forward with this idea of distillery justice that's super important to you, and how can the consumer actually be more mindful in how they drink?
I think really the word that you used, mindful, is super important. We are fortunately living in a time when there are a lot of wonderful artisanal brands. I think a lot of us want to support small businesses like that rather than big brands. Sometimes it feels like it's choosing quality over price because those smaller brands can be more expensive, but you really are getting a better product. And especially in something like a cocktail where you're not, it's not like you're, you know, making cocktails for 50 people. You can maybe use that as an opportunity and read the stories. You know, read the stories on the bottles. Look at the labels. All of these artisanal brands take a lot of time in creating those labels, those stories. They want you to know about them. And then when you go to serve something, you could share with somebody. You know, you have a few friends over for drinks. Instead of just drinking, maybe talk about the rum. Talk about who made it. Talk about why you chose that brand. So we can kind of get the word out, right? This can be a very organic movement. It can be sort of from the ground up.
I love that you mentioned that because it's very easy to buy the big name brand that you maybe are more familiar with, what you've tasted before, but to branch out and do something new and put your dollars towards something that's helping the people from where it comes from is a very easy, actionable thing to do, right?
And really, if you think about it that way, like you're spending maybe, I don't know, $5 more, $10 more. Do you know how much money that is in Haiti? in the Dominican Republic, you know, in Peru, that's a whole different kind of economy.
Makes a big impact, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that as well. Thank you, yeah. All right, so we've gotten a chance to talk about Chef Nelson's book quite a bit, but Eve, you all are currently working on a new book as well. I'd love to actually, we have one of the cover of the book. I'm hoping they'll be able to show it here. So tell me a little bit about this and why it's so important to you and what you're excited about.
Well, I was approached by a publisher, and at one of my talks, it was on Mai Tai Day, so we were approached to do a book, and so there's been quite a bit of back and forth, and I really put my foot down, and I really wanted to show through the menus tell the story, actually. So I've been digitizing for 10 years now, so it's like all this information through absorption with looking at the menus. His first menus, he was copying Don a little bit. It's okay, it's a compliment. And then he came into his own, and so it shows the progression, but then also we include like where we are at now, you know. And with a lot of the creations of all the different bartenders, we hold a contest overseas, and someone wins. I included them in the book. People have a lot of memories. Our restaurant is very multi-generational. There's people from all, and so I'd like to continue that on. But again, you have to move forward. And so with drinks, flavors, food, and that's where we're at today. So in the book, though, it's just cocktails, and then later on we're going to do one on food because there's just too much information.
Yeah, of course. It's a long history, right?
It's, you know, so we're at over 90 years in business, and so let's make it to 100.
Woohoo! All right, awesome. And the way you're going to do that is through amazing mixologists like Carlos, right? So what are some of the places, or what are the drinks that people are going to be able to try that you're kind of coming up with? Like, you're coming up with some new stuff all the time, right?
Yeah, we're coming up with new stuff all the time. We're implementing like monthly cocktails on our cocktail menu or cocktail program. But also, like I mentioned, we just came up with this new concept, Hinky Dinks, where we're like making like prohibition-style cocktails, a lot of reinterpretations. But like I said, using different techniques, clarifications, using different ingredients, like cactus liqueur, for example, for one of them. We just made like a cocktail that resembles the flavors of tacos al pastor, for example. What? Making a syrup with like a double syrup, and it was an invention that I came up with, and like it came at great success. So
wow,
yeah,
that's
we're
awesome.
Evolving, implementing, like I said, different techniques, but still respecting the original flavors of Tiki culture.
The Caribbean meets Mexico.
Yeah,
Chef Nelson, new collab book. Yeah, okay.
Cool.
Amazing. I love that. All right, so did you all have fun? Yeah. Great. I wanted to give a little shout out to the next event that I'm going to be a part of if you wanted to check it out. Check Please Bay Area is going to be having a very fun celebration for a unique wine country episode that we are putting out. This will be a sneak preview party that's going to be happening up in Napa. It's going to be on July 22nd at the CIA at Copia. And if you want to check that out, there's still tickets available at kqed.org/events. I want to give a huge thank you to the panel, to everyone at KQED who helped put this event on, to Robert Chahosky for helping us get this archival footage, but of course to all of you for being here today. It cannot be possible for us to do these live events if you all don't show up and kind of support us. So we really appreciate you being here, and we hope you tell your friends about it. And a big thank you to everyone who's watching at home live on the live stream. We have one more surprise. Well, it's not really a surprise. It's more of like a revelation of what you all will expect out in the lobby, because Chef Nelson has brought some tasty bites for you all to have. So this is from the book, Chef. So what did you bring in addition to the drink that they're going to try? What are the foods that they're going to have?
So we got a chicken and yuca pincho. It's like a skewer with charred pineapple, pepper pepper, and a beautiful tamarind honey glaze. And then you're also going to have an habichuelas, red kidney beans, the way we Dominicans call it. We make a hummus out of that with a plantain salsa, a little bit of tostones, twice fried plantain. I also brought a little bit injera chips. So not sure if anybody's been to Mesquite, I see one big fan here, my friend Miss Phyllis. At Mesky, with me and Draymond Green, we blend Ethiopian flavors with Caribbean flavors. It's a really great combination.
Amazing.
So we actually have some injera chips for that hummus. It's super delicious. And then the sorrel Negroni you're gonna have out there, we actually did that one with mezcal. There's some mezcal fans, right?
Okay,
So,
awesome.
I'll drive you home.
the agave there. There's some mango sorrel mezcal Negroni. So you guys get to enjoy. So.
Yeah, but chef, also for this pincho, you know, that's not a typo there. That's culantro, not cilantro.
Culantro,
right?
yes.
Yeah, can you tell people what that is?
Culantro is kind of similar to cilantro, not as super vibrant. It's more of an earthy flavor. They call it sawtooth also. They use in Vietnamese cooking. But it's something used, recaito is the Spanish name for it. You'll see a lot of that in Puerto Rican restaurants, Dominican restaurants. It's just a flavor that really gives this beautiful, earthy, vibrant tone to the dishes. We use it in our sofrito to cook our rice, our beans, our chickens, pernil, everything. It's kind of the base for all the flavors. It's beautiful.
It sounds so good. So you all will both be out there as well for people who want to purchase the book, and also you'll be signing those books as well if they want to get a signature. And also for you all at Trader Vic's, your book is coming out sometime next year. And so for right now, if anybody is interested in that, they can put their name on the pre-order list and actually get ahead of the game to get the book when it officially launches and comes out. And if you enjoyed this one, maybe we'll do another event coming up soon. Yeah. Thank you all so much. I hope you enjoy all the drinks and the food. Get ready to mix and mingle, and thank you for being here.